Hello, this is Josiah Winslow recording for his client server and e-commerce implementations class for instructor Mark Cribb. Now this is our assignment 2, where we have to install some tools that will make our project work and then set up our first files for our project. So I've gone ahead and done all these steps, and I've pushed them to my GitHub repository. And I also have all of the VS Code extensions and files all set up in VS Code right here. And with that, let us run the API in order to test it out. So, in the Activity 2 instructions, I assume that they're still from the earlier version of the class with Mike Hunziker as the teacher instead of Mark Cribb. But there are a few other things that are different about how I had to do it. And it's mainly because I didn't download version 2.2 of .NET Core SDK. The latest version was version 5, so that's what I ended up getting, and I contacted Mr. Cribb, and he said that if I can get this to work with .NET Core 5, then that would be okay. And there doesn't seem to be a lot different. However, there are two things. One, I never had to... let's see, where is it? There should be... Yeah. I never had to comment out this line because it wasn't actually in the configure method in startup.cs. And the second change is apparently when you create a new web API, the example that they give you is different. Because if I go down here and I find the launch URL, it is API/values. However, if you go ahead and I can go on the localhost 5000, it's actually Swagger. When I set up my thing, that was the launch URL for it. And what this does is it brings me to this hub page where I can see all of my different API endpoints. There's only one so far. It's weather forecast, a get endpoint. And if I try it out, then it gives me a random forecast for the next 5 days, and with a random summary at the end right here. And now, I find this kind of interesting because this auto-populated the web API with a simple weather forecast example, and for another one of my classes, I'm also taking a web dev class, I'm making a weather forecast API, or not API, weather forecast website that calls a weather API and populates all of these cards with different forecasts. Oh, and I should probably get rid of this cookie indicator. Yeah, the modern web is weird. And if I go ahead and resize it, yeah, this is the main part of that project is it stacks like this once the screen is small enough, and it puts them side to side when the screen is wide enough. Also, whoa, that was just going crazy for a sec. Anyway, so I found it kind of interesting that both of these projects have to do with weather for some reason. I know I'm probably getting rid of this and replacing it with something different, but I found that pretty interesting. And if we go into weather forecast, I'm already able to get a look at what exactly this looks like. So this is a weather forecast class with a date, a temperature in Celsius, apparently a computed field for temperature Fahrenheit, and a summary. And if we go into the weather forecast controller, apparently they are random. They take the next 5 days, do a random temperature from -20 to 55, right exclusive, and take a random summary. So let's get a random weather forecast, and here's returning it in a JSON format. And if I reload, it'll keep giving me random forecasts for each of the days. So all of that is working. All of that has been committed and pushed to my repository. And yeah, that is my assignment too. Hope you give me a good grade.